Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. Welcome to the replay if you are watching afterwards. My name is Tara Joy. I am an energy intuitive, a light language channeler, and energy healer. And I go live every Friday with different themes. Today is Ask Me Anything. And today's is just if you have anything on your mind, if you have a question that you've been wanting to ask someone, this is your opportunity to ask that question and get information. And it's not only an answer from myself, but it is an answer from spirit, because I channel information. So as people come on, just let me know in the comments where you're viewing from, where you're joining from, and also on the replay. I love finding out where people are watching from, where people are watching the live or the restream. Hope you like my keyboard sounds. I specifically chose that keyboard because of the sounds that it makes. So yeah, welcome to the live. Let me open the chat. Okay. So yes, as you come on, just let me know you're here. And I have a few common questions that I'm going to answer as new people join, as people come online. And once you're feeling comfortable, if you want to ask a question, just ask the question in the chat. And I will answer. I will ask my team, my guides, for insight on the answer. And I'm really excited about this. So let's start with a common question, which is, hi, Laura. So one of the most common questions is, how do I connect with my spirit team? How do I get to know them? And the reality is it's different for each individual. So it's not like a one size fits all. And it's very much something that you need to be playful with, you need to be adventurous about, and try different things. So for myself, I found guided meditations to be really helpful. And I literally just went to YouTube, searched for guided meditations to meet your spirit team, meet your guides, meet your higher self, and tried different ones until I found, what voice resonated with me, what music in the background resonated with me, and what type of guided meditation resonated with me. And the first couple of times, nothing happened. So don't give up after one try, because everybody can do it. Everybody can connect with their guides. Everybody can communicate with their guides. You just have to learn what preference your guides have and what works for you. And also trust when that connection happens, trust the information you're getting. And the more you practice, the more you can discern when that connection is in alignment and, when w how my guides are kinda showing is, like, when you have the Wi-Fi versus when you don't, and you'll be able to discern that, the more you practice and the more that you learn what works for you and what is in alignment for you. So, again, anyone who's joining, hello, I'm Tara Joy, and today we're doing Ask Me Anything. So, if you have questions, drop them in the chat, and I'll show the chat on the live stream. There, I'm going live a little earlier than usual, so all of my usual um, people I feel aren't here, but it's because I have an exciting event to go to this evening. So, yeah, let me know in the chat if you have a question. And then if not, I will go to another common question. So, here's a good one. So, what are synchronicities all about? What are they trying to tell me? So synchronicities are things that are seemingly coincidence, but um but it happens in a way that it can't be coincidence. So an example is when you think about someone and within the next 5 minutes they text you or call you. So that's like synchronicity. Like it's almost as though them typing the text put a thought of them in your mind. Um, and what are they like? Why does this happen? So, in my experience, part of it is validation. So, if I get information, if I get intuitive information come in, and then I see something that validates that information from another source, it's kind of that like, yes, that's true validation. Also, in the case of people who have passed on, people in the spirit realm, they often will drop a few different messages, a few different synchronicities to because the first time you're like, was that really them? Was it a coincidence? And then the next time you're like, okay, I believe it. It was them. It's a message from them. And then the third time is kind of like, oh, 100% is them. And the first time it might be you're in the grocery store and you hear their favorite Christmas carol. And then the next time you go into the drugstore and their favorite chocolates are on sale at the very front. Um, and then the third time it's like a memory or something will pop up that's very specific to them. So those are some synchronicities. And Laura asked a question. People ask me how I know the difference between intuition and imagination. How do you know the difference? Okay, that's a great question. This is something I also get asked a lot. Like, how do I know I'm not just making it up? How do I know it's not um, just my brain thinking, imagination? Um, and again, it's different for each individual. But for myself, it's when the information comes in, there's no attachment to it. There's no immediate emotional fear or excitement. It's just like it comes in, and then I'm like, huh, like I didn't even consider that kind of thing. Um, I often believed, hi Pascal. I often believed that when information came in from guides, from others, it would be in a different voice than mine. It would sound different, or I'd be able to discern the difference. but it's actually my voice, like when thoughts drop in my head in my own consciousness versus when intuition drops in, it's the same. Um, and it's that discernment of, was I thinking about that? Was I actively consciously trying to figure something out? Or is this something that's dropping in from another source? Um, the other thing is if there's fear about it, it's usually your own. It's your anxiety, your ego, your fear. Um, and also if there's I'm trying to ask them. Help me answer this question. um, yeah, it's very much about that discernment between and it takes practice. It's going to take time and learning what works for you. Um, because no two individuals will ever have the same exact experience when it comes to intuition, when it comes to um, getting insight, getting messages. um, Everyone is unique, and you really need to practice on your own and learn what works for you. And when you do, it becomes effortless. And you'll know because it like the whole body, the whole mind, body, spirit, all is like, this is a yes. um, and that's another way to tell the difference between if it's intuition or imagination, because um, if it's from imagination or if it's from a place of fear or anxiety, then the body, mind, spirit won't be in alignment. They'll be one of those that feels scared, feels off, feels out of alignment, right? So Pascal asked, can we ask for a quick personal message here today? Yes, yeah, you can ask for a message. It is Ask Me Anything, so that qualifies. My life in a new region. Question of my choice regarding work. Not that great on hours. Staying here. And other work or something elsewhere in another region. And Laura said, agreed. I often tell people that doubt is their own voice. Fear-based thinking is likely your ego. Yeah, so it's when there's that attachment, which is when those emotions come up. You're attached to the outcome, you're attached to the result. Usually that's your own internal dialogue happening. Okay, so for Pascal, you'd like to know. So I'll ask. So I'll connect with Pascal's energy and then ask his guides to step forward. And then ask if there's any guidance, any messages about this. So right away, I'm seeing almost like the same, they're showing me like the same pattern happening. And then they're shifting it. So, and I have to draw it. So they're showing like, this is how you're experiencing things. It's a circle, it's a loop. And for you, it feels like I'm on the same path and I'm, the same things keep happening over and over. Um, but really, this is what's happening. And although it feels like this, it's like each time it's moving up. You're like, you learn something and you slightly adjust. And it feels like part of your ego is speaking up, and it might be part of confidence that's also speaking up, because this negative voice is also in my ear saying like, oh, it should have taken less time, you should be here now, you should be making this much, you should have this title. But if you really thought about it, you're making progress. And they're also showing how it's like your personal progress is also going up, and it's also being seen as the circle. So yeah. Yeah. So think about it in that way. Like, how have you made progress where you're beating yourself up? And then there's also something about seeing the value of where you are. And there's a bit of like gratitude energy in this, like being grateful for where you are and grateful for what is already in existence. Because there's kind of a disconnect with like, I want more, I want better, I want that, but I don't have that. So I don't feel content. And if you focus more on what you have and that gratitude, then more of that will come to you, and it will help dissolve some of that negative thought process. So thank you, Pascal. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking that question. And I'm going to send Pascal's energy back to Pascal, bring my energy back to me. And for anyone new who has been joined, you're so welcome, Pascal. If you'd like to ask a question, this is Ask Me Anything. And it can be anything about, spirituality, connecting with guides, what's the spirit realm like? Anything, literally. And if you're not wanting to ask publicly, you can always reach out on my website and send me an email if you have questions. And next week I'm trying to go live every Friday, and next week is Halloween, so I'm not sure if I will go live, and if I do, what time, but just stay tuned on my social channels and here are, YouTube, Facebook, for when I might go live. And then after next week, so November 7th, will be Star Language mini activations. So Star Language is also referred to often as light language. And the last time I did this live, it was so fun. If you look on my YouTube or Facebook pages or channel, you'll be able to find that live and just listen to a few of them. And they're pretty magical, pretty great. And they kind of are like a mini intuitive reading and then some energy healing. So that is November 7th. Amazing. So if no one has a question, I'll pull one from my list of common questions. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, what practices help me stay grounded while I expand? So, often when you are experiencing an awakening, like whether you call it a spiritual awakening, a journey to get to know yourself, um, that self awareness, self knowing practice, it can feel um, it can feel kind of like floaty and overwhelming. And so what can help you feel grounded? Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. Everyone will have different things that help them ground. But instead of just ground, let's talk about grounding. Like, what is grounding? So, there's two things about grounding. Um, the first is the literal. So grounding is the connection to the earth. So often people will say, go barefoot on the earth, which 100% feels amazing. But the second part of grounding is that it's bringing you to the present moment. And so if you don't want to think about it literally as putting feet on earth, then think about it as being in the present moment. So, what brings you into the present moment? What stops you from thinking too far ahead or too far behind? And whatever that practice is, whether it's journaling, meditating, being intentional about drinking your tea, coffee, spending time with loved ones, friends, partners, whatever that is, then that's your grounding practice. It's what brings you to now, what keeps you in the present moment. And that helps you stay grounded because we can only control the moment we're in now. And that is the only time that we can influence our trajectory and decide, what comes next. So hopefully that helps some of you. And whether you're watching live or watching the replay, I am immensely grateful for you being here. And I feel that will end today's live. I knew it was going to be a bit shorter today because I am also I'm going live earlier. But yes, next Friday I may go live, so watch for notifications. And if not, then I am definitely going to be live for Star Language activations, light language, on November 7th at 4 p.m. Atlantic. And if you're watching a replay, if you're seeing this and a different time works better, then let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what times would be better for you to watch live, and we can do lives at different times. So, again, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're watching live or on the replay. And I will see you very soon. Take care. And until next time.